What's up, Deadheads? Welcome to the Walking Dead Review. I'm Steve.
And I'm Devin.
And today we're going to talk about the episode entitled Try. It's one episode before
the season finale.
Season finale is next week. We both just got done watching it. A lot of shit happened again.
Yeah, but this felt kind of meh compared to last week's.
Really? Am I actually satisfied with the Walking Dead episode?
Are you serious? Yeah. I thought this one was just very blah.
I thought it was alright.
But stuff did happen though. I was still entertained.
I didn't think any less of it. I didn't think, I was satisfied. It could have been better, but
yeah,
I didn't think it was bad.
But definitely plot points happened. Let's just get right into it.
So at the beginning, Deanna, we see her and her family. They're mourning the loss of Aiden, who last week got impaled by all those.
Yeah, a little upset. Like they drove off.
Metal.
Sheldon drove off, and then you hear in the distance of the last episode, you hear Glenn say, "Hey, come here," and everything, and it's like, and then it just skips to later in the night, or like later the next night, whatever. Like I wanted actual
Yeah. You wanted to see them getting back.
Exactly.
You wanted to see them how everyone would react, basically.
Exactly.
People's reaction to the town. Yeah, I kind of wanted to see that too. So I was a little disappointed too that they didn't. They just skipped over that.
Instead, we got 9 Inch Nails.
Yeah. Instead, we got a 9 Inch Nails song, which felt really weird.
It did. I was at some parts I was like, all right, I feel like a little tension happening.
Trent Reznor was just paying off the Walking Dead to put his song in the show probably or something it didn't flow very well.
9 Inch Nails of all people. I mean, it was all southern stuff before, but now it's.
Which I don't know. I don't care. There's some good 9 Inch Nails songs, but it's they make it fit. It didn't really fit
at all.
It was just weird. Like when they did the whole couple weeks ago when they did the whole Rick with 60s music that fit. Yeah. That fit with the mood. This was just like they're mourning over the death, and I don't know. I guess they're trying to be fast paced and cool and show the montage or whatever everyone else is doing. But
it really didn't
I didn't like it.
That
was one of the things I didn't like about the episode. Then we see Daryl and Aaron.
Yeah.
Out for a recruiting run, and they see this light
in the far distance.
Could it be the wolves?
Yeah. Well, as you said before, well, we haven't said it here before, but it is definitely the wolves, especially with the amount of W's.
And the W on the heads.
So many. For
those of you who don't know, the Saviors is a gang in the comic books, in the Walking Dead comic books. It's this hard-nosed gang of people.
They do bad things.
And for AMC basically isn't calling them Saviors because they don't want to offend any religious people. So they just completely switched the name of the gangs around to the Wolves, which is what they're going to introduce into The Walking Dead. I don't know if it'll come next episode or if it'll be for season 5.
I think it will be.
I'm sorry, season 6.
Yeah,
I think they're going to leave it for season 6. I think
it really feels that way, but I feel like maybe there'll be more developed upon that they did in here, because obviously they've just been showing a bunch of walkers with a bunch of W's for this season.
They've been teasing it. They've been teasing it a lot. That's probably what the W's mean. We're not 100% yet, but that's what is kind of coming up.
Unless some guy just this is a walker. This is a walker. I gotta make sure people know, just so they don't know the difference between zombie ones and walker ones.
So then after that we see the interviews with Nicholas, and he's just completely throwing the team under the bus
and
lying about what happened.
Yeah.
And then we see
it's Glenn talking to Rick. Though it looks like he's being interviewed, but it's
Glenn did that on purpose.
Yeah. But you see on Deanna's face, she's looking at it, and she's looking at his facial expressions and everything. And I think she clearly sees that Nicholas is lying.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, if she knows the business and everything, she knows.
Yeah. I think she knows that he's lying as well. We see a lot of other stuff happen, especially with the whole last episode. We get Sam going to Carol and telling him about how his father beats his mother and all that stuff, and Jesse. So Rick kind of tries to intervene. So basically, what happens is Rick talks to Jesse. She doesn't want his help. First, actually, he sees Pete.
Yeah,
and Pete's trying to be all friendly to him.
Yeah, he's been like drunk friendly. I was like, is this guy really a beater? Because it
what,
just seemed like he was just happy drunk.
Also makes me wonder, is he just drunk like all the time? Like, is he just
that's
drunk?
the thing. I wanted to see him I wanted to see Pete like actually as a surgeon and everything, and see him like fix up.
And what else doesn't really make sense is surgeons are supposed to have very, very still hands because they're performing surgery. People with alcoholism, like, one of the side effects of alcoholism is you get the shakes.
Yes.
So that, they could have been like, alright, let's give this guy, like, a much better profession, but it's like, they're trying to, like, give him, like, this meaning to stay, so they give him, like, the surgeon, but it's like, know what you're getting into before you start giving these people these jobs that they probably can't perform.
Even still, like, we never see him do it. Like, we never see him, like, say he's a magical surgeon.
Well, you also don't
stuff, but we don't see him actually do any type of, like, whether it's like a kid falls down and scrapes his leg, like, nothing. Nothing.
That wouldn't be a surgeon, that would just be a doctor.
Even still, it's something. Something of healing nature. He doesn't show any of it.
I don't think they needed to do.
Honestly, they don't, because this place, it doesn't feel like they. Anyway,
yeah, no one gets hurt.
Exactly.
They either die or they live.
Yeah, exactly. They run away anyway.
So then, that kind of leads up. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here. That kind of leads up to Rick, Pete. Rick actually goes and confronts Jesse about it because he wants to do something about it, and Jesse says no, and then she's like, all right, I've had enough, and then they have this huge big fight, because Pete's actually at the house, so Pete goes and attacks Rick, and they crash through the window, and they're fighting in the street, and everyone sees it. Yeah,
here's the thing, whenever you ever see a fight ever happen in any type of movie or TV, usually the fight ends whenever the person is thrown out the window. They don't ever continue fighting after that.
Yeah.
But so, in these guys' case, they did.
They kept going, and we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
But first, let's talk about some other stuff that happened.
Sasha going crazy a little bit.
Well, now
crazy,
Sasha lost another friend because she lost
a person. Noah, but she promised him that you're gonna make it.
Yeah. They had some bonding moments in there.
So yeah, she lost her lover, she lost her brother, and now she lost a kid that she said you were gonna make it.
And she's not faring too well. She's definitely letting her emotions get the best of her.
Oh yeah,
as you can see, because if Michonne and
Rosalita, yes,
weren't there, then she probably would have been zombie chow.
Yeah, I think she would have been okay with it too. Apparently, I think.
Yeah, I just think she doesn't really care. She's not faring well.
Nah.
So that's kind of where she's at right now. Her character is definitely developing into this like hard-nosed, I'm going to take on the world, I don't need your help.
Sounds like she's going to be killed off. That's what it sounds like to me. If you get
see.
enough screen time in Walking Dead, usually means you're gone.
Most of the time.
Then you got Carl getting a little bit of a with Eden.
Yeah, they got a little close. And
literally in a tree.
Eden said, I thought Carl was going to get his first kiss. Didn't happen.
Nah.
Whatever. But then, Eden said that she was afraid of him, and he was like, why? And then, like, you could tell she wanted him to kiss her, and he's still, it's his first kiss, he hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, I feel like...
So he's kind of like, he was a little scared, and she was like, I see you're a little afraid of me, too, so come on, Carl!
Get with it!
Yeah.
You're not 8 years old like you are in the comics. You're like, what, 14, 15, 18?
So we'll see where that leads. I think Eden is more of, she can definitely survive more. She's more Team Rick than she is Team Alexandria.
Because here's what my thing what happened is that in the book, Sophia is still alive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's going to take the place of that.
Of Sophia?
Yeah.
And and in the book, Carl and Sophia are like, they're all like kind of...
Yeah, exactly.
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Exactly. Actually, like, Sophia's like really like on him like a bunch. Really? But remember, they're kids in there, so they're like 8-year-olds, so they don't know anything. But we'll see how this plays out, especially in the next week's episode.
Oh, zombie apocalypse makes you grow up pretty fast.
Pretty much.
So after we have Nicholas basically bad-mouthing everyone and throwing everyone under the bus and saying that, it was their fault when he was the coward and it was his fault.
Yeah, 100%.
Glenn confronts him, and Glenn basically just tells him, you're not going on runs anymore, and that's it. And he was like, "You threatening me?" And Glenn's
He's
like, "No, I'm saving you,
idiot."
Because these people just suck. They don't know what they're doing.
They don't get it.
They don't get it, and they don't know what they're doing. And it's a miracle that they've survived this long in the town that they did. So,
then you got Michonne, feeling the life of Alexandria.
Yeah, Michonne. Michonne's really weird right now because you kind of sometimes get the aspect that she misses going out, and then you also kind of get the aspect that she might want to stay.
Well, I'm gonna say this as a what's the word I'm looking for? As a example, as like her sword being on the shelf.
Yeah.
She doesn't want it to get dusty. So where she was with the walkers with Sasha, she saw little flashbacks.
Did she not bring the sword out because she didn't want to, or did she leave it at home because she's so used to feeling protected in Alexandria that now when she goes out, she just forgot?
I want to say a little bit of both in that regards. Because, as I'm going to say with example, just like her sword, she left.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't want to get dusty, as like a figurative. Like, she feels safe and everything, but she doesn't want to forget. So, she had a handgun, but she was still taking out walkers here and there, so she was still getting the gears moving and
when
stuff.
She's doing that, and it's like, yeah, she's taking out walkers, but that's also because she left, because she needed protection with the gun. But I kind of also feel like she just kind of felt so protected that she didn't realize she left her sword at home, because I feel like that's like her trusty companion is her sword. And you even see it when Sasha's firing the shots, she's having these flashbacks of her using the sword.
I feel like she was having more like she was imagining like Sasha as herself. Because she sees her like with so much that she's lost that she became so she understands what she's going through without like really telling her. Mm-hmm. At least that's what I think.
So I mean, I don't know. It's she's kind of in a weird place. She's a hard character to read, so she might be.
Yeah, she really is.
Yeah, she might be getting along well, want to stay, but she also might miss it.
All right, so let's go back to the Rick and what?
Real quick before we get back to that. Daryl and Aaron.
Oh, right. Shit, I can forget about that one.
They find
a tied-up woman. Well, she wasn't alive, but she wasn't a walker quite yet.
She was alive, though, like, maybe not too long ago.
No, yeah. She was still skin color. She wasn't, like, all gray and pasty.
So, and she's tied up to a tree where all the walkers just
8 out her stomach.
Yeah, 8. And then there's the W on her head for the wolves, probably. Yeah,
I love it, like, Daryl didn't even like say anything. Like there's a W on, like not even a word. It's just like every day.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of creepy. Like, what are they doing? Are they just like tying people up and waiting for the walkers to get them, turning people into walkers and marking their territory? Like,
I literally think it is marking their territory, and you get that essence, especially since the groups have been getting closer. There's been more and more and more W's recently.
Yeah.
So I think it's definitely a territorial type of thing.
Yeah. So then, going back to what we touched upon before, we get Rick and Pete in the middle of the street.
Bloody galore.
Battling it out. Yeah, and they're fighting, and the whole town is watching, and then Jesse tries to come and rip Pete off, and he punches her in the face. Carl tries to come rip off, and he pushes Carl away.
Like, literally the exact same thing.
Yeah, and then
Dana shows up and just shouts, like, don't you do it, Rick.
Yeah.
And then, like, basically the most, like, understanding and crazy thing has came out of Rick's mouth, where it's like, you guys don't get it.
He basically snapped, and he kind of let his emotions get the best of himself too.
Yeah.
Because now everyone in the town is going to be like, "Who's this crazy guy?" Like, because he can say this and do this, and they don't get it, and it's started to head to a place where it's like, what's gonna happen? And it's like, all right, is Rick just gonna completely take over the town? Because it could. Or is this going to be this huge civil war in the town between Deanna and Rick's team? Like, what's up? And then before anything could happen, Michonne just clocks him in the back of the head and knocks him out, and then the episode ends.
Yeah, to be honest, I think Rick needed that.
Yeah,
I really think he did. He needed a little bit of like, dude, chill out.
Yeah, you can't just go in and start fighting people and yelling at people in a place where you're not really familiar with yet.
Yeah, what is this, like season 1, 2, 3, 4?
So you can't go into this established community and just be like, hey, I'm the boss now, and expect everyone to listen to you.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work like that either.
Yeah, so
well, at least in this place.
So I think Michonne kind of did it because she was like, this is getting out of hand.
Especially like, basically saving Rick, I want to say.
Yeah.
Because like, you think you're going to kill me? And like she said, every time you're speaking, pretty much. And she's like, alright, let me just knock out the child before he gets hurt.
So, so now it appears that the entire town is just like, alright, to hell with him. And they're going to probably exile them.
Which really looks like what they showed in the next trailer for the next week's episode, which is a 90-minute episode.
It is. It's going to be a long episode. I don't know if they're going to take the story aspect from the book of what happens to Alexandria, or if they're going to go their own route with Alexandria. The thing is, do you think it's going to crumble, or do you think that they're just going to have them leave?
Well, in the book, it did.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it did. A zombie outbreak did happen, but it didn't like fully destroy the place. There was still like some. But
the zombies kind of came and took over. In the comics, the zombies knocked down the wall, or breached the wall, and it kind of like overran the town, and then everyone had to leave.
Yeah. Some people minor people stayed, like houses wise. Like it could still be stable with some people, and some of them did stay, but a lot of people died. So
I don't know if they're gonna go that route. We have a big episode next week. We have a long episode next week. They're gonna probably try and exile Rick. You know, Rick's not gonna go down without a fight.
Though it looks like he is pretty much exiled when he's like in a completely different area.
Yeah. And this might split up the group, too. I mean, you might have half the group going one way, half the group going the other way. What I don't really like about these Walking Dead episodes, but I do think it is, just because they have such a huge cast, is you'll see, like, certain characters all in one episode.
Oh, yeah.
And then you'll see completely different characters all in another episode, and not have those other characters. Like, where was Abraham this week? Where was Maggie this week?
Where was Rosalina throughout the whole other 4 episodes?
Yeah. So it's like you just see, and this, it's just because their cast is so huge. I think
exactly.
So they probably have scheduling conflicts and stuff, so they have to work around it. But I don't know. I just feel like it's like, some people should be there for like when like Rick's bloody mess fight some guy on the street.
All of them should have been there.
Well, I can see like Daryl and Aaron not being there because they're out.
Yeah, maybe even Abraham when he's like in the work crew. But
I guess.
But Maggie should have been there. Yeah. There's no Maggie.
Yeah. So
especially being the mayor's like right hand girl and everything.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like that stuff bothers me a little bit, but whatever. I can look past it. All in all, I think it was a good episode. A lot of stuff happened. It's definitely going to be. I think it'll be a good setup for the season finale. Just as long as it's not like the season finale of season 3. That's all. I just don't want to see that.
I don't think that was like that.
And if they give me another shitty season finale, I might not be doing
that. Was only one. That was 1 out of 5. Just 1 out of 5.
I don't think let it down. I still talk about it all the time.
It was pretty bad.
It was awful.
She could have got out at any point. Anyway, but yeah, can't wait for next week. Make sure you guys like and favorite, subscribe to this video and also our other videos.
Check out our other reviews. This is the start of a new week, so they'll be up later in the week. But go back and watch our reviews from last week, because they're just as good.
Like Arrow, he only has 3. Help him out.
Yeah. So yep, that's us. That's it for us today, and we'll see you next week for the finale of The Walking Dead.
Goodbye, everybody.